Dr. Michelle Medrano for the month of August. It's the penultimate reading from her. So here we go. I don't know. Just testing the lights here. I'm going to read the whole thing and then I'm going to come back and comment on it. The reading as it's written is primarily intended for the New Thought community, which includes Science of Mind, Divine Science, Unity. The one in Japan, which is a big one, which I always forget, and various others, Divine Science, a bunch more. So I'm going to read it just like it is, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to kind of make it more universal. So here we go. It's called Embrace the Wisdom of the Self. And the first quote is from Oprah Winfrey, who says, turn your wounds into wisdom. Oh no, what am I doing here? I'm on the wrong one. Oh my God, what have I done here? Oh, all right. So the title is wrong. I'll go back and correct that. It's called Heal Old Inferior Ideas. This is one I pre-read. Heal Old Inferior Ideas. And this is first quote's from Eleanor Roosevelt, who says, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That's a really famous quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And this is from Ernest Holmes in Living the Science of Mind. It's a good book, actually. It's much easier to read than the Science of Mind textbook. And it's also a big book. It's on page 378, paragraph 5, but the print's bigger and it's broken down into small sections. So it's actually a reasonably easy read, and you can take it in small chunks. It's really very user-friendly. The way to get rid of fear is through the cultivation of faith. A faith founded on the thought that God, the divine, the infinite, is all there is. And she says, our faith tradition, i.e. New Thought, teaches us to spend time contemplating the nature of God and to contemplate that God's nature is our nature, as we are that which God is. If we embodied this truth, we would have rock-solid, God-ordained self-esteem. Yet as humans, we seem to struggle with this due to so many factors, including what we've been told in other realms about our relationship with the divine. We tend to have low spiritual self-esteem. We tend to imagine that God is angry with us, punishing us, tricking us, and not just fond of us. We believe these things because they're baked into the deep consciousness of humans and because we are likely to have been taught this by others. If we accept this belief, we can fall prey to feeling that we are simply inferior to other beings and to some image we have that we think God expects us to be. The divine has been giving itself to us and through us unconditionally throughout our entire existence. It will continue to do so. A huge part of our spiritual practice, then, is to heal the old inferior ideas and allow ourselves to feel the unconditional divine love that God is as us. In our quiet moments, we can allow ourselves to feel the nature of God and feel its nature pulsating through us in every way. We can let go of the voices of the past and embrace our true spiritual self-esteem. God and I are one. I don't think it's 100% true to say that we tend to imagine that God is angry with us, punishing us, tricking us, and not fond of us. You know, Reverend Michelle, I can't accept that as a statement like that's the way it is. I think that when you're brought up in certain faith traditions, be they Christian, Judaic, Islamic, primarily, then you are given the impression that there is a God who is watching you and going to reward you when you do good things and punish you when you do bad things, both in this existence and in a future existence. But it was kind of balanced out. I mean, Pierre, the reason I like that quote I gave in the quote of the day was from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, was because he shows us the importance of love. So, in a lot of expressions of Christianity, God's anger kind of is balanced out with God's love. So, when you start to discover the mystical side of any of these three religions, or basically any religion on the planet, you take on a different view of how you view the divine. You don't regard the divine as some super Zeus, sitting on a throne in the sky judging you. You begin to realize that God, the divine, the all, is just so way much more than that, that it's all embracing. And that's what she's saying here, that if it is all embracing, then you are part of it. And we've preached this day in and day out, that you are an aspect, you are a product and an aspect of the divine, and the power that flows through the divine flows through you, and that you're able to use as much of it as you can believe you can. Holmes says, as much as we can accept, and what he means by that is as much as you believe you can, within the framework that we're human beings. So I think the basic message from Reverend Michelle here is valid. We need to do our spiritual work to get rid of any misconceptions that we might have in our mind about what God is, who God is, and what we are and who we are. And that we do come to realize that if God is all there is, then we are expressions of that divine source, and that we have access to that divine power that flows through us. And as I've said before, in Christianity, it's called the Holy Spirit. You are a temple of the Holy Spirit. It means exactly the same thing. So there you are. And of course, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin was a mystic by definition. So anyway, that is my take on all this. I have not pre-read tomorrow's reading, her last one. Her readings this month have been incredibly uplifting. I might disagree sometimes with her opinion on some things. I might have slightly different views on things, but basically she's preaching the same message that I am and other people in my position do, that you are a worthy human being because you are an aspect of the divine here on earth. So none of us preaching this would disagree. And I hope it's not preaching, I hope it's speaking about it. Right? And just a quick reminder, Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, which is a New Thought tradition and came out of other New Thought ideas such as unity and ideas that were in Europe as well at the time as the US, that this philosophy can apply to anybody of any ilk. In fact, I know people who come to our spiritual center and they go to Mass and they manage to translate what they learn in Science of Mind into how they approach their faith. Ernest Holmes never ever intended this just to be one religion. He intended it to be a philosophy, albeit a spiritual philosophy. And that whether you were a Catholic, a Protestant, a Jew, a Buddhist, whether you're a Muslim, a Hindu, whatever you were, that you could take this philosophy, and even an agnostic to some extent, not an atheist, no, because we believe there's something greater than we are, that you could take this philosophy and you could actually use it in your everyday life to make your life better. And that's what he always intended. And he also said one thing which is really important in a spiritual come religious context, and that's this: He said that there will come people who will have better ideas than we have, who will know more than we do. And that is why this teaching should remain open at the top and not closed like a lot of faith traditions. That it should be open at the top and allow new ideas to come in as our human experience grows and we grow wiser as individuals and as humans. So that is my story for today. You know, I did the quote of the day, which was from Pierre de Chardin, and if you want that, it's actually on my Prosperity Living Facebook page, and you can reach me on any page that you see this on tomorrow at 5 o'clock, wherever you got it, and it will be 5 o'clock on Creative by Spiritual Center's Facebook page, Prosperity Living's Facebook page, my own personal page on Facebook, David Dewhurst, and on everything else later when I get the time to go and upload them onto there. That's it. I embrace my true spiritual self-esteem and stand in unconditional divine love. I embrace my true spiritual self-esteem and stand in unconditional divine love. Now, that is me for today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you have a great weekend. And if you get Monday off, which most people do, I hope you enjoy it. So I will see you hopefully tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And until next time, from me and from my colleague, Reverend Lisa, who'll be on at 9:15 tomorrow morning on Creative by Spiritual Center Facebook page. Namaste, and knowing that each one is safe this weekend. And so it is.